All right, we're going to get into this next game. The colors switched again. It's okay. I've got top 3 color control. All right, turn on the game music. It's going to feel so lonely. Welcome, guys, to game number 3 of this SC2TV.RU Heart of the Swarm show match between Quantic.HyuN and Rox.Kis. Let's introduce these players. The map is Daybreak, spawning in the top right position as our blue Protoss player. I really thought he was going to win the last game. He had a pretty awesome composition with the Void Ray, Colossi taking out the ground units, Void Ray's taking out the air units. He's from Rox.Kis, and he is Titan. And in the bottom left, spawning as our red Zerg had literally half the map last game by the 20-minute mark. Threw away a lot of armies, almost lost that game. I was pretty sure. He's from Quantic Gaming, and his name is HyuN. Now, I'm pretty sure it's still loser's map pick. So, Daybreak, I'm interested to see why Titan would go for this. Maybe it's just because it's more of a familiar map for a Protoss player. But it could also be because it's a pretty solid map for turtling. It's not the hardest map to get 4 bases on, and Titan's going to go for that probe scout. His pylon is positioned, of course, to go for a Nexus. Most likely Forge first, though. He's been showing that in the last couple games. He prefers to go for the Forge, then get his Nexus up. Play a little bit safe, but also giving him the option to cannon rush if he wants to. So we've had a pretty good show of games here so far. It's 15 supply spawning pool going down for HyuN again. He's not deviating at all. HyuN's not doing any kind of trickery. It's everything's looking pretty normal, to be honest. So HyuN's got the pool going. He's going to try to go down, build his hatchery. There's a probe position to block this, but he should be able to get this. He should be able to get the hatchery down pretty easily. Yep. Titan's been having a lot of trouble blocking the hatcheries the last few games, so he's going to open with his Forge now. Curious that he wouldn't go for the Nexus. He scouted that there's been no real aggression from HyuN. HyuN hasn't been really one to take risks. We saw against Chirrut last week, actually, that HyuN, he likes to go for pretty standard play, but if he's forced to, he'll do other things. Oh my goodness, this probe might actually get a drone early on. Oh my god, that drone had... Oh wow, that was... The health regen, that drone had like 1 health, I think. So close. That was actually really scary. You don't want to lose a drone that early on as a Zerg player. Actually, you never want to lose a worker that early on as any kind of player, but we'll have to see. Nexus in the natural for Titan. Should have a 3rd hatchery going up for HyuN very soon. His Overlord is just kind of chilling there. It's like, yep, pretty much see literally everything. And HyuN's going to go build his 3rd hatchery, so this is looking like a pretty standard ZvP again. I have to say, neither of these players really looking cheesy at all. In any way, honestly. This has just been a really solid series so far. Although I will say, if you recall, in last week's King of the Hill, we had HyuN versus Chirrut, and Chirrut went for a rather interesting build. He took a quick 2-0 versus HyuN to start this series off, kind of like HyuN is right now against Titan, but of course those games were much shorter. They were very interestingly timed builds, basing off of a heavy turtle mech, and HyuN just kind of adapted, so he's shown that he can definitely do that. He's kind of just switched into a lot of really heavy roach aggression with drops and Mutalisk play, so HyuN is a force to be reckoned with, and I think after scouting that Void Ray composition, HyuN is going to change his plan up a little bit so that that doesn't become as big of a threat to him. HyuN's probably sitting there thinking now, okay, well, everything's going pretty normally. I've scouted a pretty normal look from my opponent. The Protoss player hasn't actually gotten a... Cybernetic score is not complete yet, so there's no tech option available quite yet for Titan, but HyuN's got to be thinking to himself, I don't want to have to deal with that this game. That was too close for me to have to deal with. I have to push him either before he gets that many Void Rays, or I need to go for a different unit composition that will completely obliterate that style. But at the same hand, Titan, he can be baited into going for the same style again simply because he saw how well it works in the second game. He says, okay, well, I lost the first one pretty convincingly. Game number 2, I almost had it. If I just do it again, play it a little bit better, I should be able to take this game. One of the admins needs to pause the game. Hopefully everything is okay. Alright. Hopefully we'll find out what's going on. Hopefully it's nothing crazy. Speaking in Russian. I don't speak Russian. I don't know, I can't read Russian, at least. Я извиняюсь. Okay.
Game resumed.
Alright, so we're getting back into it. All is well then. Guess the one of the casters just had a little bit of an issue. But Stargate is going to be the tech choice for Titan. This doesn't surprise me for him to move right back into this. He actually could use a mothership core to spot this Overlord, which I think is one of the coolest ways you can use it now, just because of how much I hate them. But we have a lot of Zerglings actually out for HyuN, so he could be trying to put some pressure in here. Maybe just try to push into the natural, and just try to do a bit of a slowling push. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I'm not entirely sure what prompted him to make so many of them. Maybe he's expecting some pressure to come out. There are 2 Zealots actually. Oh wow, he actually did spot the 2 Zealots moving out. So with that Stalker, that's why he's got these Zerglings. He's going to take out this Pylon. And the Pylon won't be able to do too much right now, but he'll be able to shut this down. The 2 Zealots and Stalker, though, are going to be able to do a lot of damage to these Zerglings. Just slow Lings have a hard time dealing with Zealots. But, ooh, he catches one isolated from the rest of the force. The other Zealot is with the Stalker, so he gets a quick Zealot kill, and that might actually hinder his ability to do any damage by quite a bit. The Queens are positioned at the 3rd base to defend it for HyuN. He's going to get this Zealot. He wants to surround the Stalker, of course, but he's not going to be able to get that. And going for it actually cost him a lot. The Mothership Core throwing in a lot of DPS, an interesting new harass option in Heart of the Swarm. But we have a lair starting for HyuN. 4 additional gateways, 5 additional gateways on the way for Titan. This is looking a little bit like he could be going for some really big aggression. If he makes another gateway, 7 gate all-in would be pretty interesting, honestly. It's not something that you see terribly often. His warp gate's complete, needs to switch over that gateway. The Zergling speed is going to be done soon. He might be able to catch this Stalker before it can make it home. It's about 20 seconds away if he can get there. Oh, manages to get a surround on the Stalker, so a good catch by HyuN. He has a lot of Zerglings, and there's actually nothing here to wall this off. And immediately, Titan's going to throw it on a Pylon, says, okay, well, I don't want to let you get in here with any number of units. His 1-1 is researching on his evolution chamber. He could have tried to take out the cybernetics core, though, and that would be a pretty big loss because there's no robotics facility, so his ability to attack is going to be drastically limited. He's not going to be able to go for any Templar or Robo, but he saves it, gets some sentries out. So nice hold by Titan after doing his little bit of aggression, even though it didn't do so much damage. We're going to have a Spire start, and I like that HyuN is going for something a little different. The Void Ares, maybe HyuN feels comfortable playing against Phoenix, and he's thinking to himself, well, if I go for a lot of Mutalisk play, Mutaling, I can just overwhelm you with good macro and just really great micro because he's HyuN. So this is going to be, I'm actually really looking forward to seeing this. It's the first Mutalisk game we're going to have seen this matchup. HyuN actually didn't favor Mutalisks too much in last week's show match, so this is pretty much a new look for me to see out of HyuN. This Void Ray is going to be poking over. We have some Stalkers and Zealots going to engage these Zerglings. It looks like he will be able to deny the 4th base of HyuN pretty easily. He loses his Proxy Pylon, though, and he loses his 2nd Proxy Pylon. Is the probe still alive? No. So the reinforcement capabilities of Titan are going to be gone. That Pylon does barely finish, though, with some health. Wow. He's really trying to watch this. Needs to make sure he gets up a ton more units, warping in 6 more Stalkers. This is basically 6-gate Void Ray all-in is what it kind of looks like, because if this doesn't do damage, this is going to be game for Titan. But he has a lot of army supply. He's bringing the Void Ray over. Prismatic Alignment activates. It actually doesn't affect the Queens. They're not listed as armored. He needs to target the Spine Crawlers with the Void Ray, but the Queens needs to transfuse. He misses it. Only transfuses the other Queen. There's still a Spine Crawler left. There's a lot more Spines building. He needs time right now. All HyuN needs is a little bit of time to get these Spine Crawlers up. He's using the Zerglings and the Queens to hold this army off from actually getting to his 3rd and killing his drones, but the Spire is complete. HyuN has enough resources to go into Mutalisks immediately after this, and with the Spine Crawlers finishing up, it looks like HyuN's going to be able to hold this attack. Really great hold by HyuN, I have to say. These Spines are not going to be breakable by this number of gateway units, and here we have 7 Mutalisks on the way for HyuN, and I think the rest of his mutant count is purely limited by his waiting for Larva, which I will say has been hindered by the fact that he had to bring all of his Queens down, so he wasn't able to drone up at all. So definitely a little bit of a problem situation for Titan now, and he's going to try to push into the natural because of this. The Spine Crawlers, however, are already relocating, but they're not rooted just yet. He's going to need to bring the Zerglings and Mutalisks over to fight this. He needs to get these Spine Crawlers down, and he's going to actually reveal his Mutalisks in the process. But there's no 3rd base, so really it's all about doing damage for HyuN to this army. If he can kill the army, You know, he can hold off the wave after wave of attack. He could be okay, but it looks like the Stalkers may break through. We may actually have our first win for Titan here. HyuN, he's having some difficult times holding this off with just Mutalisks. Reinforcing Mutalisks will be out very soon, though. Should be able to help him actually just overwhelm him now that he got a couple of Larva injects off. These Mutalisks will die without any support, so now the rest of the Mutalisks are out, and it looks like HyuN's going to swallow up this Stalker Ball, and I think that is going to be pretty much decisively putting him in an advantageous position. The Zealots are trying to do as much damage as they can, but he's going to need a couple more waves of Stalkers if he wants to kill this Mutaball, and I think HyuN shouldn't give him any time to build up his forces. He should just try to kill the pylons, kill the units that are there. There's no Guardian Shield this time to aid against the Mutas, and I think HyuN's just going to keep building up a bunch of Zergling Muta. And honestly, once Titan pushes, this is going to be it. This is going to be the deciding push. He's still on 2 bases. He's running out of resources at his main base. Barely a couple hundred minerals left per patch. And here he goes. He's going to move into the natural area. The Mutalisk's moving in with that splash. Time Warp does not affect air units, guys. That's not going to save him from these Mutalisks moving up on his army. And it looks like that's going to be GG from Rox.Kis Titan. HyuN takes a quick 3rd game after a 2-base, 6-gate Void Ray all-in. Pretty much coming out of Titan, so great hold. Good game. That's going to put HyuN up 3-0 right now in this best of 9 Heart of the Swarm show match. So is Titan going to be able to swing this back? I don't know. This is looking like a pretty scary position. Well, I don't know, non-existent co-caster. Perhaps maybe he will go for some cheddar. But we'll have to see. I'm just going to throw some tunes on, and I'll let you guys know when we're getting into the next game.